Hi everyone, my name is Haley Morrison, your host for Let's Talk Out Loud, the Health Kick series.
Getting down with a good life. Getting down with a good
So in this episode, I spoke to the lovely Christine, we call her Chris. She is a therapist. She has a company called Body and Soul Therapy, providing aromatherapy, Reiki, Reflexology, among other things. And as we were obviously chatting, again, it's a similar story when I'm finding with people is that there was a problem that Chris couldn't find the solution to, so she created a solution. So Chris suffered really, really bad from back problems and found that there was nobody that would actually kind of touch her. And so she kind of went through a lot of suffering for a while. She did actually find somebody that did ultimately help her in the end, which is why she then knew there was definitely a gap. Again, bridging the problem with the solution. So she started training, she took night classes, dedication, and she became that person that was missing. Now she has her own practice. She is based at the Biz Space down in Newcastle near Scotswood. And I actually was very lucky enough to go and have some treatment. So I opted for a facial and I had reflexology. And what was really fascinating as she was talking is, obviously, we're all connected, we're all linked. And as she kind of touches your feet, she can tell you where you have, I guess, blockages or stress or issue in your body. So for me, a few things came up. My shoulders have been quite stressed lately. My chest, which is also linked to grief, which I wasn't aware of. And obviously losing my dad last year in August, that is definitely something that is probably a case. My adrenals came up. And just a couple of other things as well. And when she was doing my feet, it was the areas that was painful or that there was a bit of gristle there that you kind of needed, a bit like getting knots out when you get a massage and just releasing that. So I did feel amazing afterwards, and it was a really, really good experience. And we just spoke about that, there's different therapies that will work for different people. Some people, for example, might like to meditate. Some people might like to do breath work. Some people like to get a massage. But it's all part of a self-care routine. And whatever it is that you choose, definitely kind of look to see what can work for you. And Ealistic is being talked about so much more lately, and for a good cause as well, because it works. Sticking to nature, doing the things that they probably did, thousands of years ago. It worked then. And I just feel like now we are over medicated on things to give us relief, where I believe that ultimately they have negative effects long term. So obviously watch the episode. And if anyone has any questions for Chris, or if you're not in Newcastle, there's got to be somebody who does similar practices in your area. But if you're on Newcastle, like I said, I went to see Chris and she was just absolutely lovely. Great experience. So all of her links will be in the description. So today I'm thrilled to have the lovely Chris on from Body and Soul Therapy, and she provides lots of holistic treatments. And I'm going to just kind of head straight over and just say to Chris, do you want to introduce what it is you do, what you provide, and then we can get into, the benefits of it as we go on.
Okay, so hello. Yes, thanks for having me. I'm Chris. My business is Body and Soul Therapy, and I've been a holistic therapist now for 8 years. I'm based in Newcastle Business Park, which is just off Scotswood Road. So I've got a lovely treatment room inside a managed office space. So it's really quiet and calm and relaxing. But I also go into companies as well to provide well-being in the workplace, so do seated acupressure massage. But the things that I do in my treatment room are lots of different types of massage, reflexology, so on the feet, on the hands, and on the face. Mm-hmm. I do facials, and I do a little bit more woo-woo stuff as well. So I do Reiki and crystal healing as well. So that's just a little bit about what I do.
I love how you said woo-woo, because I think I use that term as well, because some people are still unaware of like what it is and how it works, aren't they? And they think they're detached from it and just think, that's a bit too crazy for me. So is there like a story, like your background story for why you kind of got into this work? Or
Yeah, so it was a complete career change for me in my early 40s. I kind of stumbled into office work when I left school because I didn't really know what I wanted to do and just bumbled along. Everything was fine. It was an easy job. It paid okay. So I just continued doing it. And then in my 30s, I got sciatica and it got really, really bad. I wasn't able to walk without a stick. Pain was horrendous and I was taking really powerful painkillers. I ended up having spinal surgery, which is quite extreme.
Wow.
Yeah. And while I was going through my rehab, I couldn't find anywhere to give us a good massage. I was really struggling. So people would either not want to touch us because I'd had spinal surgery, or it was just like a really light touch, which is not really what I needed. And I thought, okay, so if I can't get a good massage, maybe other people are struggling to find somewhere to get a good massage too. Shall I go to college and see if I'm any good at it? So I signed up for a night class doing sports massage at Durham College. And because I was in my early 40s, I thought, yeah, I can't really do massage all day, every day. I need something else. So I decided on reflexology as well. So yeah, working full time, college doing sports massage, also doing reflexology training. It was quite an intense time,
Yeah.
but I felt that I'd found what I should be doing. This is me. This is what I should be providing. So then voluntary redundancy came up at work, and I thought, okay, if I don't go now, I'm never going to go. So that was about 8.5 years ago, and I've just kind of gone from strength to strength from there, and I love what I do. I really,
Honestly, I love hearing the stories. Like, and I was speaking to Jill yesterday from your wellness directory, and she had a similar story. And I'm finding, and I said this to her, like everyone I'm speaking to, they've had something like an event in their life where, I suppose, if you believe in the universe, which I do, is they've been pushed in a certain direction. So do you wish you had found what you're doing earlier, or do you think it kind of came at the right time? Is what I was trying to ask.
I think sometimes I do think, why did I not do this earlier? But I don't think it really interested me. I didn't know anything about reflexology prior to doing the training. I'd been for massages, but I didn't know what was a good massage, what wasn't. So although I wish I had found it earlier, I think it did come at the right time. It was what I needed at that time in my life. Yeah.
And do you get a lot of clients who kind of are more interested in the Reiki stuff, in comparison to your normal, like typical massage in the reflexology?
Most of my clients, I think, come for massage or reflexology. I do add in a little bit of woo-woo stuff, and because I'm Reiki attuned, they're going to be getting a bit of Reiki anyway.
Yes.
Whether they want it or not. It just kind of happens. But that side of the business is attracting a different clientele. So people who are really interested in that side of things. But the massage and the reflexology, people come to me for those specific treatments. And I think I'm in a bit of a unique position regarding back pain. So I know exactly how it feels. I know what the client is going through. So I can offer suggestions of what helped me when I was at my lowest point. So what helped with pain and what stretches I did. It's a unique perspective on my part, and I think some clients like that I get it. Yeah.
I think so, because as well, I would say that a lot of people look at massage as just, I'm going to go for a little treat, rather than I'm going to go and get massage to kind of like release some things and help heal my body, don't they? Would you say that's a similar thing that you found, that massage now, more people are kind of realizing that it's got more than just lying and relaxing? There's like a lot of health benefits like to it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it gives you that hour or however long you've booked of just being in your own space, relaxing, switching your mind off, which in itself is very therapeutic. But also it does help your body to start its own healing process, which I think a lot of people don't realize our bodies have the ability to do that. Yeah, and you just, I like how clients feel so much better when they leave my treatment room than when they came in, which is that always makes me feel amazing.
Yeah. Does anybody ever come to you with like pains in the body, and where reflexology can kind of help with that? Like, could you help heal me headache?
Definitely,
I think
yes.
I'm just going through a detox thing at the minute. Like, you know how you get detox symptoms. So, because obviously I'm doing a juice fast, so my head is like pounding, and I'm like, right, when are you at work? Are you working the day? So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about the reflux. I can't even speak. Reflux. Oh, will you talk a little bit more about that, the reflexology?
The reflexology, yes.
Yeah.
So, like as I said earlier, it can be done on the feet or the hands or the face. And for me, the feet is always, that would always be my choice. I'm fascinated by what I find out from touching people's feet. And yeah, there's lots of techniques that I use, but specifically around the toes, which are the head and brain areas, where I get people's mental chatter to just switch off, which is great, because you've always got these voices in your head, haven't you, thinking, oh, what's for tea later? What do I need to pick up at the shops? I'm doing this next week for the kids. But this technique that I use on the toes just gets that to shut up for whatever period of time you're on my treatment table. But some people don't like their feet touched, or they've got verrucas or whatever, so I can't touch their feet. So we could do hands, or we could do it on the face as well. And because you're working so close to the brain, the relaxation factor is magnified, and people generally fall asleep within about 5 minutes. And the facial reflexology is amazing for headaches, for sinus issues, hay fever, that kind of thing. It's got so many benefits, and because it relaxes the facial muscles, it temporarily reduces your lines and wrinkles as well. So an extra bonus. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, no, that is great. And like, because obviously you mentioned earlier on about like not many people are aware of obviously like the Reiki and stuff like that. Do you find that now a lot of people are kind of turning to more holistic ways? Because I don't know if it's because I'm interested in kind of exploring this field that I'm seeing so much more. So is it because I'm just looking into it and I'm focusing on it? Or is it actually because there's a rise and more people are getting in tune with themselves and wanting to look after themselves, and I guess becoming their own doctor and trying to go and heal themselves? Or what's your thoughts about where we are as a society with like holistic healing?
Yeah, I think we still have the people who really don't believe in it, and then people who are very open-minded about trying new things. And I think you're right. There is a lot more of the woo-woo stuff around now. Lots of people found crystals during the lockdown periods. And for me, Reiki and crystals goes really well, goes hand in hand. So I mix those together for treatments. But I also offer to add them into people to treatments where people are coming in just for massage or reflexology. I'll say, do you mind if we perhaps use this crystal? They'll have told me something that's going on in their life, and I'll have said, oh, this crystal would be perfect for that. Can we just place this on your body while we're doing the treatment? And 9 times out of 10, people will say, oh yeah, go on. And yeah. And then people will say, "Ooh, I didn't expect to feel what I felt, or talk about seeing colours or shapes, or
Yeah.
just feeling a calmness in their body that they weren't expecting. So I always just say to people, please be open-minded. Don't think this is never going to work. This is way too weird. Just give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so have you got, not to put you on the spot with this, but have you got any stories of like, not miracles, but where you've kind of really helped somebody through like one of your treatments that they've come back and went, wow, like this has been going on for this long and now I feel okay. Like, have you got any good stories?
There's a few people actually who they come because they've had some kind of issue, trauma, injury that they're just wanting to work through. And I always do a thorough consultation beforehand, so I know exactly what's going on with the person. So all my sessions are bespoke. We choose the right crystals for them, place them on, do all the witchy stuff, as I call it. I just find it easier to explain to people like that. And then afterwards, people will say, I just felt something kind of whooshing down my body. That's the words that they're using, and out through my feet. How weird is that? Or some people will start crying, and I'm saying to them, this is really normal. It's just your body getting rid of what it needs to get rid of. You're starting the healing process. So, and then people come back because they see the benefit. They feel so much better. They want to come back. They want to try different treatments on the treatment menu.
Yeah.
They want to continue with the self-care. They want to...
And that is it. Self-care is massive as well, isn't it, for looking after your health? Is because I think we're living such a busy age where everybody's rushing to do everything. And people don't normally take the time to think, like, what can I do for me?
Yeah.
And they think they've got to spend like loads of money, which I was doing like Wellness Wednesdays, but I think I went a little bit too extreme, and I was getting like, I did like skin rejuvenation, I did colonics, I was like every Wednesday I was doing something. And I thought, this is probably not what I should be promoting. I should be promoting like have a bath, read a book, go and get a massage. And it's probably those sort of self-care that is easy to access, isn't it? And that is going to have a massive benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think more people are realizing that, going for a monthly massage or reflexology session, or whatever it is that you choose that you like, has a huge benefit on your mental well-being as well.
Yeah.
And we're moving away from this is a treat. We're going down the line of, this is maintenance for my body, for my mind, and I need to do this on a regular basis.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I've got on your thing that you do a lot of like stress relief. So how would that work? Like, what would you recommend if somebody was like really stressed? Would it be a massage? Would it be reflexology? Or would you just kind of tailor it after having a consultation and finding out what it is somebody needs by doing that?
We would definitely tailor it. I mean, we can create a completely bespoke session, so it can include a little bit of massage, a little bit of reflexology, a little bit of Reiki. Just, I've got all of these skills in my toolbox so that I can offer something that's unique to that person and what they need on that specific day, because maybe they booked the appointment 3 or 4 weeks ago, feeling something, and then when they come into the treatment room, they're feeling completely different that day. So I wouldn't say, oh, but you booked this, so that's what we're going to do. I'll say, okay, well, today it sounds to me like you need this, so
that's good.
Let's try this. If you don't like it, tell me. We'll tweak it as we go. So
And what's your favorite to do then? What's your favorite treatment to give? Surely it can't be reflexology.
Absolutely. Feet reflexology is my absolute favorite. I'm fascinated by by how the feet respond, how the body responds, and what the feet tell me. And I always sound like a crazy person when I say that. So some people, they don't give me their entire history, so I'll be touching their feet, and then I'll say, so have you got this going on, or is this happening in your life? And they'll go, how do you know that? And I go, your feet told me.
And that is so fascinating anyway, though, isn't it? That everything's connected and that you can tell. Because I remember me mum and me aunt used to do it, and they were like, "Oh, we can tell if you need a wee by this bit's like." I'm like, really? So it is quite fascinating. So obviously it was a lovely short one today, but I think we definitely covered a lot of goodness in one little chat. And if anybody obviously would like to go and visit Chris, if they want to go and have a chat with her and find out, what you can do to help you with your symptoms, or just for that relaxing massage as well, I'll be putting all of the links in the description. So thank you so much, Chris, for joining me today.
Thank you. It's been great. Thanks for having me.